the deserted forest. After a while, a very beautiful girl came forward. I learned that her name was Suniti. When death was increasing in the village at a terrible rate, when I asked her if she was afraid to stay there, she said, "There is no fear if you are away from people." On the way back that same day, I saw another death. In the evening, another young man was hanging from a tree branch. A crowd of people in front of him. A strong wind was blowing from the wind. It was cold, and there was a thick fog all around. Even the desire to go out seemed to have died. In the afternoon, I somehow returned home from the office and sat down. I talked for a long time with my wife while drinking tea. Then I came to my room. I opened the window and looked outside. A flock of crows had started an awkward quarrel on the branches of the tree in the distance. I don't feel good. I took out some old storybooks from the table. I shook the leaves one by one, but nothing happened as I expected. Just when I couldn't find anything to occupy my mind in this foggy environment, my wife told me that someone had come to the house. I went and saw Kishori Sen. She was still trembling. She wrapped her blanket tightly around her and said in that trembling voice, "I wanted to ruin this winter evening. Don't you understand? What are you thinking?" "What do you mean? What should I think?" "Didn't you think of the astrologer's house today?" After listening to Kishori, Taranath, the astrologer, came to mind. "Yes, that's right. Is there any better environment on this winter day than his living room?" So from then on, I felt like I was familiar with some suitable environment, where this winter atmosphere would fit in. But nothing came to mind. I smiled and said, "So come on then. You have reminded me of something very good, Kishori. At least we will pass the time by listening to some strange stories." The two of us went out. We got out of the car and bought a passing show and hot singara and kachori in Mott Lane. It will be very cold in this winter atmosphere. By the time we reached his house with these, dusk had fallen. The birds were calling all around, and the streetlights were turning on one by one. A layer of fog had twisted the soft yellow light into a circle and reduced its ability to spread far. Chari opened the door. She said tremblingly as she opened it, "Yes, I got it right. In this atmosphere and at this time you can come, Kakababu." We moved inside with the singara and kachori in his hand. Taranath was just watching the last hand. After meeting the man, he said goodbye after talking to him for a while. We were left gasping for breath. After we arrived, it was as if no one else could be tolerated near Thakur Mashai. He asked us to sit down and got up. After a while, he wiped his wet hands and stood in front of us. Standing at the door, he called out, "Chari! Chari! How about you put the water for the tea, ma'am?" We started talking about this and that. A little later, Chari arrived. She arranged 3 cups, 4 and 1 singara kachori on a plate. After finishing them, the girl said with a burp, "Today is a very tempting day, Thakur Mashai, isn't it?" Saying this, she handed him the packet of the passing show. "Is it going to be a story today?" "Your style of speaking is great, Kishori. Just like giving a passing show in hand and asking to tell a story. Just like giving food in hand to a child and ordering him to sit down and read a book." We couldn't help but laugh at his array of examples. Kishori and I laughed. Taranoff didn't let us say anything else and said himself, "Although I was also waiting for the same thing. The chat that took place after your arrival is very memorable. If you two hadn't suddenly come and gotten to know me that day, I don't know how much more we would have left in our lives." At these words, Kishori and R both felt proud. At least our arrival was so dear to him. Although I know, who doesn't like to hear it over and over again? That too from someone like him. I will tell you a strange story today. But at the end, you have a job. That is, you will judge at the end. Judgment. There is a difficult trial for you. Let's start telling stories. At the end, there is a big solution waiting for you. What? But let's start or not? We both nodded in agreement and told him that we were ready to act as the judge of his story, and now let him start telling the story. He took some time. He caught a passing show and started to smoke for a while. That smoke started to float in coils in the fog that had accumulated in the room. We sat up more in the mild winter. We got ready to listen to his story by wrapping our shawls tightly around our bodies. He started to say, "When the wandering insect in my head moves, I immediately go out and think, without any reason. You know that. And what can I say about it again and again?"
So the same thing happened to me. I really wanted to take a break from everything for a few days and lighten my mind. Whatever I think, that's what I do. With a bundle of leaves, I went to the station and reached it. I saw which train I could get. I would get on whichever one I could get on. So I found it. I found a train to Beerbum. I got on it and sat down well. Let's see where fate takes me this time. Because every time I go somewhere, I find some reason behind it. Let's see what reason is calling me this time. I have to find it. Who is waiting for me? That's all I can see. When the train stopped, my drowsiness broke. Looking out the window, I saw a noisy noon, summer noon. From doll sellers to chanachur sellers, everything around had become more noisy. In this heat, the crowd of people and the noise, along with the shouts of these hawkers, all combined.
A different atmosphere has been created. I came out with my sweaty body. As soon as I put my body outside the door, a little wind spread and hit me. Feeling that a little better, I stepped onto the platform. I pushed through the crowd of people who were bustling around. I washed my hands and face in the tap water and sat down for a while. A cement altar under a tall shatim tree. I sat down and started to breathe some air. A lot of time passed by watching the people around me. A crazy delirium was talking in the distance. Sometimes I lost my concentration due to its excessive shouting and kept my eyes on it. After resting for a long time, I stepped outside the station. Gradually, the crowd thinned out. I was walking aimlessly along the dirt road. It may have rained yesterday, but the wet smell of it still lingered on the ground. Although I had said goodbye to spring, I could hear the call of a cuckoo in the crowd of trees on both sides. I am moving forward with the silent noon. I don't know where I am going. I just felt like I have to understand life a little better. And that is why I will float in my own created realm like every time. I am walking and imagining various experiences of the past. Meanwhile, I feel terribly tired because I am walking on a summer afternoon. Although the sun has slightly tilted to the west from above my head, it was calling in a sad tone. The ponds filled with water on both sides are so quiet today. The green leaves above it are swaying in the wind. Sometimes a colorful feather falls on the leaves. The sun's rays hit its feathers and fall perfectly. Some crickets are floating in a single stream from the bushes. Some unknown birds are calling in the distance. I walked like this for a long time, but I did not find any locality. I do not know if there is any locality here at all. Or maybe I will not find any place to stay in the darkness of the night after going this far. Although this has never happened before. This time I am a little suspicious. I was enjoying the fields, jungles, forests, and batards all around. A strong smell of wildflowers from the forest always wakes up the surroundings. When the Baaghi bird's nest sways on the leaves of the palm tree, an even more beautiful scene emerges. This palm tree and Baaghi bird's nest are like a hand-painted picture in the middle of a blue sky, like the Neelkanthmani above my head. A raft of white clouds sometimes floats in between them. One can get lost in this environment in an instant. It is as if I was looking for such an environment to take a break from the suffocating life.
and finally I have found it. But where will I stay here? This is what is going on in my mind. I went further. Finally, it seemed like a village was coming into view. Far away, some roofs of houses were visible on a narrow horizon line. It seemed like a quite large village. In the middle of it, the tops of tall palm trees are leaning against the sky. A flock of birds are floating in the blue sky. There were no trees for a long way. Fields on both sides. The heads of rice plants swayed in the wind. Beyond them, more thick jungle began. At that moment, there was a turn at the end of the road. The path I had come on went straight, and a narrow road went to the left. Looking at that direction, it felt very strange. The place was strangely dark with the trees on both sides of the narrow road, as if no one had set foot there for a long time. There was not a single bird calling from that direction, nor the sound of a leaf moving. It seemed as if the wind did not go that way either. It was like an extraterrestrial place located inside the earth. I looked closely. I also could not understand if there was any bad energy there. What was competing with my energy? And if there was nothing here, then why was it like that? After that, I also thought there was a tall banyan tree, because its head was above all the trees. The place really seemed a little different. I walked towards it with curiosity. As I was about to step onto the very beginning of the path, I heard a loud scream.
Ah! He's awake! He's awake! He's awake! He's going to kill everyone!